we're at the last stages of putting BAM up on top of all this. What actually happened when we implemented BAM, Oracle BAM system, it's a great little system, but I thought I was ready 12 months ago with this behaviour profile, put BAM up there, and the amount of holes that we saw that our capability the data didn't have, that we needed to put on the BAM screen, sort of almost showed us what we need to do to health check our environment. So we went back into the drawing board and started to fix our data, all these areas in there which actually showed a lot of holes. So my advice that if you're rolling these things out in the organisation, that the first 2 iterations of BAM, keep them within your IT team to make sure they work, and an exclusive group, and then bring to the business. Because I can see why in a business, if you go straight out day one with it, people question say, well, how are you getting that figure? And they say, if that's not right, or we haven't got the backing behind it, we can look like idiots. But certainly that was the biggest lead I got with BAM. We use BAM really to show us how to finish our stage 2 of SOA properly. And now BAM now is just the icing on the cake. I'd say if you're doing a BAM implementation, if all your data's right, and you're capturing all your metrics right and all that stuff there, it should take no more than a week to put your BAM screens up and all that stuff and make it work. But unfortunately, a lot of people are going back and finding the holes around their supply chains. They're finding that we're not even capturing anything here, yet the business needs it, and those kind of things happen. One thing I found was this week, I actually went out to the business, thought I had it already, but I didn't realise that when we order wine for our customers out here, that not only are we looking at profit and cost and number of pallets to meet certain levels of it, but I got told that there's a weight that we have to hit on certain orders. So for example, if we get 2 orders from ALM that come in, Metcash, and they don't achieve a weight, they actually delay that first order to meet the second one, so the overall weight of the order can maximise the cost efficiency on trucks. So not knowing that one, I had to go back there and start bringing weight all the way through. Now, when capturing these type of behaviour stuff there and architecting this data through, these kind of things, it only took us probably 2 hours to bring weight in from the original thing and pump it all the way through our model there. But those small things will always happen. So if that happened day one, and maybe a year's time where we already got carbon across this already, we capture how much carbon I'm prepared to spend at each point in my supply chain. There may be 2 levels of compliance of carbon one day. You might have compliance level 1 and compliance level 2. A company might make a choice what level of compliance of carbon they want to be. This we don't know, but our IT systems need to be flexible enough to be able to accommodate this if we need to do it. And of course, the beauty of doing it at that level and not in your systems is that at any time our organisation might say, look, we're selling all our vineyards and we're going to contract it back, and then I now have to put systems that start covering some of these managed vineyard sites and that to govern the use of tractors and harvesters and those kind of things outside of my systems into another one. And you do it then more as a negotiation point into these other organisations. So B2B would be important. Now the next step, where we're aiming for the future for SOA. So we've had a 3-step approach. We're in stage 2, we believe, behaviour profile. BAM will be, I guess, the close on that one. When that's working, that'll mature a bit. We're moving to SOA tuning. So if you think about KPIs and delivering stuff, the next question that's obviously going to happen is to say, look, we're going through a tough time. Everyone's going through the financial crisis, a good time. We want to capture costs. We want to tighten costs. Can we please make cost sensitive? Everyone who's got a cost profile and they're sitting around a 2 or 3, lift them all. We want to be cost sensitive in this company. Let's compromise our service to a level, but make things cost sensitive. So if the CEO is making that decision, instead of telling the thousands of staff you have in your organisation that you want to do this, we have the ability that we can go into each of the customers' profiles when they order and force the computer system to navigate with a cost sensitivity as it goes through there. So for example, if the stock is not in our DC warehouse, don't go cross-stocking from 3 other warehouses to achieve the order, because that's costly. Effectively say no to that decision now. So the behaviour profile will naturally blend itself. Now, obviously you're always going to be improving those kind of things and tidying them up, but that capability is what we sort of move to today. So we call that SOA 2. SOA 3 is a tuning of this. We viewed SOA right from the beginning as making wine. And this probably explains why we talk about the tuning. Winemaking has been done for years, and it's very process intensive. When we make wine, for example, for certain products, we navigate the wine for the wine. It goes from the crusher to the press to the filter and moves through. Certain wine brands and certain styles of wine will engage a press, for example, that presses the juice out of it from the skins and all that stuff and separates it. can be different. For say for white wines, where the winemaker wants to get a soft finish, they'll press it, you know, to say 4-ton bag presses might just be pressing wine, very soft pressing. If they're pressing things like red wines and that, where they're a bit heavier, they'll do a lot heavier presses. They want to get the tannin out of the skin. So those are 8-ton presses. So it's the same press, they just re-gear the thing. So as all our wines are navigating through these very large wineries, which you saw that 150,000 tonne, there's wines going from every angle through there. They're navigating the equipment in there based on all these blends going through. Now there's obviously an art to it, and there's a recipe to every kind of blend we make through there. We mentioned we did 700 products. All of them have a different style of winemaking associated to it as they go through. What was I going to say? I was going to draw an analogy on one, but no, I've just slipped my mind on that one. But so if you take that winemaking feature that we've done on, and we've learnt this through there, and we also make wine from other people which has different levels of compliance. For example, Tesco's will only take wine where they've got the British Consortium standards of safety at the wine company. Only 3 of our wineries have that standard, so I need to control the winemaking to only blend wine from those 3 wineries. I can't blend it from the others. So there's a lot of complexity around the actual recipe around making wine for particular customers. The final part around tuning your SOA, for us, is like doing trial blends in there. So before we make any wine, winemakers actually simulate. Instead of doing large tank blends in there, they would simulate a trial blend where they're mixing, you know, very small bottles together and creating a blend. They're trying to get a cost point, a quality point, an analysis point to there to get the wine style they're looking for. We're saying the same concept with SOA. Because our wine has the ability to orchestrate itself through this behaviour matrix in there, we get orders usually 2-3 weeks out in advance. What we can do there is nothing stopping me from taking those orders and simulating those orders through my supply chain 2 weeks in advance to see where my resource bottlenecks might be. So now IT is taking a new position there where we're telling the business as part of the supply chain saying, look, if the orders come to the system, we see a problem here with your number of staff that you've scheduled on for shifts in this area, the amount of trucks you're scheduling to move between these sites to backfill your DC warehouse. So we're starting to give a predictive advice out to our organisation now. So IT now has taken the new role now, and we're almost playing a guide role, saying we're going to have issues here, here's your bottlenecks. Now the business's arrogance would naturally say, yeah, IT, you don't know what's going on here, we know what's going on. But back in SOA Stage 2, I had my BAM activity model sitting up there. So what we do is we already show this will be the planned execution outcome that we expect. I can now draw KPIs of how they executed against what planned and what actually executed through there. So that's Stage 3 of SOA. The only advice I give at the last part there is it's important to get your landscape right. Our biggest learning was that treat legacy and application systems as dumb as possible and lift the logic up to another layer to be able to achieve this kind of stuff. Because today we all work in one ERP system, or we have a few ERP systems. As companies evolve and things change, or new best-of-breed tools come in, you don't want to limit yourself from taking those on there, but you don't want to be a business lay down there to make the effort, you know, a year or 2 years to do. You want to be able to use the concept of agile and these kind of things and deliver immediate to the business in these areas. I hope that helped or gave some idea. I'm going to step off and be nodded. Thank you for your time. I'll introduce Franco up. Franco has been involved with ourselves from our side fairly early on. We came to him with the ideas, what we wanted to do, and he's been helping to showcase or wrapping the products around that we need. So Franco's probably better on the technical side. Thank you.